everybody.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pounds and Inches, our board game review series where we like to talk to you guys about board games and as well as our own health goals and our weight loss goals and our plans for attaining them.
I'm Bethany, this is Ryan, and today we're going to talk to you about Codenames Duet and Whole30.
All right, so I went to the doctor recently. I was held there against my will. I don't like going to the doctor. However, due to my size, that's one of the things that I wanted to ask the doctor was, what do you recommend? And basically the doctor said, less carbs, more proteins. So there's a lot of plans that kind of incorporate those things, paleo, keto, I'm sure a bunch of other buzzwords that you may have heard around. But Whole30, specifically she suggested for me, because I don't eat a lot of meats, I try to eat a semi-vegetarian diet, and the Whole30 had a lot more substitutes than some of the other low-carb diets. So that's something we wanted to try. It's 30 days of low-carb, high-protein, and fairly strict.
Yeah, and we're on day 3, and the side note that I want to mention about all of this is I have a theory as to why married men live longer. It has nothing to do with marital happiness. It has everything to do with the fact that their wives make them go to the doctor.
It's terrible.
Okay, so we are talking about Codenames Duet today.
All right, so Codenames Duet. This is the younger sibling of its big brother or sister, Codenames, by CGE and Vlada Cheval. Probably pronouncing that wrong, but yeah.
What's in the box? This little tiny little box.
All right, so basically, similar to Codenames, you get a bunch of words. These are two-sided word cards. That way you kind of get double the amount of variety and versatility in the game. You also get these key cards, similar to original Codenames, except for this time they are double-sided. So that way one side is going to be facing one side of the table, one side is going to be facing the other side of the table, which we'll get to why that's important later. All the markers that go to cover up the words. And in this version, you get this cool map, which kind of basically is almost like a campaign version of the game, which allows you to spice it up a little bit, make it a little bit harder, make it a little bit easier. Going to different cities on the map gives you different, how many mistakes you're allowed to make, how many clues you're allowed to give. So that way you can play it however you want to play it. All right, so how does the game work, and what's different from the original Codenames?
So the main difference with this game is the fact that it's a cooperative game and you're on the same team when you're playing and you want to achieve the same goals. The thing that's similar about the game is how it's played, that you give the one-word clue along with a number, so like warrior 4, and the number lets your teammate know how many words you're talking about on the board and how many words that they can guess. So it's the basis of that. If you want a more in-depth, you can always go and watch our review on Codenames, but we're just going to give a quick overview on that so we can talk about the differences. The big difference in this game, besides the fact that it's a co-op, is that you have 3 assassin words. So essentially there's 3 words that each player has that if the other player guesses it, you lose the game. That little change makes it uber complicated.
Yeah, it's extremely tough. And unlike the original Codenames where you're racing another team, you're more or less racing the clock. You have these little turn markers that tell you how many turns you're able to use this particular game in this setup. And once you have that many chances back and forth to try to guess the words, you might lose that way as well. So yeah, it gets very challenging.
So what do you like about this game?
Well, I just love that the same thing in Codenames, that mental puzzle of trying to fit 2 seemingly random words together and finding a clue that can tie them together and get your partner to guess that word. It's very satisfying. And I really love the map part of it too. It encourages you to focus in on making fewer mistakes and giving better clues or more clues or whatever the case is. I really like that aspect of this particular version of Codenames.
I love the challenge. I like how challenging this game is. I think it's more challenging for us right now because we are going through the campaign, and so you get less chances to make wrong guesses. So that makes it a bit more challenging, but I really like that. And then the other thing that I like, which is the same to its big brother, is how many times you can play it. When a game's over, you can easily reset. You just flip all of these, get a new one out, and boom, you have a new game that you can start. And I really like how quick the setup is for a brand new game. Like I mentioned before, I really like the challenge, but some people may not appreciate that challenge as much.
I am one of those people who does not appreciate the challenge as much. In cooperative games, I like a hard win to lose ratio. I like something like a 60% lose possibility. I want there to be the hope of winning, but you have to fight really hard to get there. In this one, there is no, wondering whether or not you're going to win or lose. There is no, you're going to lose. It's too hard. It's too hard. And also, it makes you question how well you know your spouse or your friends, and your ability to communicate to one another, because you might say what you think is the greatest clue ever, and they're totally going to get it. And then right off the bat, they derail it because they had their own thoughts. And so don't judge your friendships or your relationships or your partnerships or your marriages by the ability to communicate through CODENAMES Duet, because you will be headed for ending that friendship or a divorce or something, because man, it's too tough to be enjoyable by my standards.
So I wrote in the show notes, Ryan is wrong. There's nothing wrong with this game.
I'll wipe that out later. Erase that part of I'll edit that from the video. It's too tough.
I do think one of the reasons why it's really challenging for us right now is because we are going through the campaign, and you don't have as many options to get things wrong as you do when you play vanilla.
Yeah, so what are our final thoughts? What do you like about, or what do you think about CODENAMES Duet?
My final thought echoes one of Ryan's thoughts. I know, I've been disagreeing with him this whole episode, but I do agree with you should not base your relationship status on your ability to win this game.
Yes, because you never will, and all your friends will hate you for making you play over and over again.
But I really like it. I ask for it. Ryan does not ask for it, but I ask for it. Oh gosh, maybe every other week.
Yeah, but I don't turn it down though. Even though I don't request it, I don't turn it down when it is requested. So this is a game that's a lot of fun. It's fast, but just if you play it the same style we play it, you're not going to win a lot, which is fine. We just be aware of that. All right, well, guys, thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Pounds and Inches. I'm Ryan. This is Bethany, and we've been talking about CODENAMES Duet. Feel free to like, feel free to comment, feel free to subscribe. We love hearing from you guys. Anything you might want to say about board games or your own health goals and what challenges you've put yourself up to this year, let us know. We'd be happy to talk about that. All right, until next time.
Bye.
Bye.